It's like crazy. You know another one? I'll give you another one. So Air Force One, so that's the 757, but they have a 747, which is the big Air Force One. I think they just disrespected the people of Minnesota today. They gave us the little. No, actually, it's because of the runway. In fact, when we landed, you know what they said? They said, "Sir, we have a very short runway. Could you please hold on?" I said, "I trust these pilots." By the way, these pilots are the best pilots. When you fly the President of the United States, look at that, he's waving from the window. When you fly the President of the United States, you are the best flyer. They take the best Air Force guys. They take the best Marines in the helicopters, Marine One. But when you're flying these planes, you can land that sucker. You have no problem. There's no mishits. There's no, let's go around. I can't quite make it, sir. These guys are phenomenal. You got to see what they look like. You know, everyone's in perfect shape. I look at them, central casting, every one of them. They're great. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. But I'll tell you a little story. So Air Force One is a very old plane. It's beautiful, but it's an old 747, right? 31 years old. And other people didn't want to do it, but it was time to get a new one, right? It was time. You got to get a new plane. And actually, Air Force One, I'll give you a little secret, it's actually two planes, okay? They get two. It's a hell of a way to travel. You know, if one's not working perfect, you use the other one, okay? You know? But they get two. So Air Force One, they negotiated a price. And they had it down for $5.7 billion. Now, it sounds expensive and it's ridiculous, but that was done by the Obama administration, right? It was done by the Obama administration. And that's okay, but no administration, Obama, Bush, they didn't want to do it because it sounds luxury. But at some point, you got to buy a plane for the country. And these Arab countries would have their beautiful 747, 800s, 900s pour in, and they were gorgeous. And believe it or not, the new plane is a much bigger plane, much bigger wingspan. It's a much more beautiful plane. It's modern. You know, think of it, 31 years old. Air Force One is 31 years old. The main Air Force One, not this. There's a great plane, but the big one, 31 years old. So you're representing the country, but they didn't want to do it because it shows luxury. So I said, I get to the office. I said, whatever happened to Air Force One? How's it doing? Sir, we made a deal for a new one under the Obama administration. Oh, you did? Good. How much? $5.7 billion. I said, that's a lot of money, 5.7 for two planes, in all fairness. Now, it's very technical. It's very, you know, there's a lot of stuff. I won't talk about it because I don't want to give away any classified information. Just trust me, it's the most sophisticated sucker you've ever seen in your life, okay? Think of getting into a plane that costs $5.7 billion, right? But it's the most sophisticated, two planes. So I said, how much is it? 5.7. A general came in, an Air Force general, great guy, handsome guy. They're all so good looking, these people. I said, so General, what are we paying? What's the price? Sir, it's $5.7 million and we're ready to go. Sir, could you sign it? Sounds like a lot of money to me, General. $5.7 million for two airplanes. Can't we get a better price? No, sir. This was negotiated by the Obama administration. The Obama administration. This was negotiated, sir, by Barack Hussein Obama. And I said, oh, that's good. Sounds very high. So here's what I'm going to do. Tell Boeing we're not taking the plane. We have no interest and it's too much. Hell yeah. Right? That's what I did. This is, by the way, this is one of many stories. Isn't this better than going and saying I saved your iron range? And I said, but please remember I did this too. And I can do away with this stuff, but I did this too. I did this too. Please remember that because, you know, I have all this list of incredible things I've done for Minnesota. I won't even touch it because, frankly, I'm tired of repeating what I've done for all these different states. I mean, I did all this stuff, and then I hear I'm 9 down. I don't believe it, by the way. It's suppression. So I said to the general, I said, General, 5.7 billion, not me, billion. That sounds very high to me, General. I've bought a lot of planes in my life and a lot of helicopters. I know a lot about it. How could it be 5? Sir, that's the best price they could get. We only have 1 day to do it. I said, cancel it, General, cancel the order. It was signed, actually. Yes, sir. I said, you have the right to cancel. Yes, sir, I do. We negotiated a great deal. I said, oh, good. Cancel it. Yes, sir. I'm pleased to tell you something, sir. We have a breakup fee. We made a great deal, sir. I said, you did? Oh, you have a breakup fee. You mean you can't just cancel it for nothing? And cancel it. You don't have to pay a breakup fee. I know about breakup fees. No, sir, we have a breakup fee. Okay, how much is it? Sir, we can break it up for $250 million. I said, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that to cancel the order costs $250 million? In other words, we give them $250 million, we get nothing. I said, General, don't cancel the order. Just tell them I'm very unhappy, right? This is what these guys, they're good businessmen, by the way. These guys right here, Mike, they might be better than you. I don't even know. He may be the next governor. You know, Mike Lindell, maybe you should run. You should run. He is my complete and total endorsement. You should run. You'd be a hell of a governor. At least you know one thing. Minnesota would be well promoted. Minnesota. Mike, run for governor, please. So he says, $250 million. It's 250. Sir, I'm so proud of that. I said, you may be proud, but I'm not. So I said, General, don't give them notice, because I don't want to write a check for 250 and get nothing. I don't think I could explain that to the American public. So tell them you're really unhappy we're not going to make the deal, but just do it verbally. And yes, sir. And then I spoke to the head of Boeing, a very nice guy. They had some rough times since then. I had a couple of really bad things happen. Terrible, really terrible. This was early on, before the problems that they had. But he's a high-quality guy. And I said to him, Dennis, we have to start it with it's got to have a 3 on the front of it. What do I know? I just know that if they're at 5.7, and if I do something with a 3. He said, no, I can bring it down to 5.5 billion. So I say, well, that's not bad. I saved $200 million in about a minute and a half phone call, so far I'm not there. But it's not good enough. I'm not happy. I said, no, we got to really think about canceling it. And I can't go to Airbus, which is made in Europe. You know, it's a little hard. I got to go to the competitor. I can't say I'm going to buy the Air Force One from a European company. That doesn't work too well. So I just said my only option was to say, look, I just don't want it. Just put it aside, put it aside. He calls me up a few days later. Well, we could do a little bit better than that. I said, Dennis, has to have a 3 in front of it, Dennis. Got to have a 3, you know, like a 3. 3 anything, but got to have a 3 in front of it. So he said, no, no, no. After 1 month, we signed a contract for $3.9 billion. Right? Same exact plan. Actually, slightly better. We got an extra generator. And then Boeing came to me. And I know how to, you know, I love to negotiate. I do. Got that from my father. My father was a good negotiator. And I love to negotiate. So they came to me, sir, we can put an extra stairway. This is the big 747. And remember, this is a big, much bigger than the old 747. Sir, it gets very windy up there. I noticed that your hair's blowing all over the place. But we can buy a stairwell for the plane. And it comes under, it's like a corkscrew right at the bottom of the plane. You know, you're very high off the ground, big, big thing. And it opens up, and if it's raining or windy, you're covered, sir, because it's under the plane, you're totally sheltered. I said, that sounds great. So it's a corkscrew stairwell. I said, how much is that, General? 50. I said, 50. What a deal. So for $50,000, I can get a stairwell? No, sir. $50 million. I said, forget about the stairwell. Forget it. So he said 50. I really thought he meant $50,000. So these are just some little stories. I guess I must like Minnesota to go on one of these deals. But boy, did you get your money's worth tonight? Is anybody having a bad time? Did you get your money's worth? Because you've heard the other one. We've done this, and we've cut your taxes, and we built up the military bigger and better. And we're the #1 in history in regulation cuts, which is the biggest thing. And the judges, which we've done at a level like nobody's ever done. Everything we've done. Nobody has done more in 3.5 years. No administration. 3.5, those first 3.5 years, nobody even comes close. And you know, it's a funny thing. I say it all the time. I've been saying it for a long time. And the fake news, nobody even questions me about it. And you know, if I was wrong, they would, but they can't question me, because when you see right to try, we took care of our vets. We just got a 91% approval rating from the vets. 91, it's never happened before. We got choice approved. We got accountability approved. Drugs are way down. We got a little setback with this whole situation where, you know, these shutdowns caused a lot of problems with drugs, a lot of everything, but drugs were way down. We had our best year in the history of our country last year, and we're going to have the best year, we're going to have a better year coming up. That's why you have an obligation to vote for the guy that got you there. And remember this, and I really appreciate this. Thank you. But I appreciate this because 9 Democrat mayors of cities in the Iron Range, you know that, have endorsed me over Sleepy Joe. What do you like better, Sleepy Joe or Slow Joe? What's better? Oh, let's do a poll. We do a poll. We do a poll. I do free polls. You know, these polls are all, they charge you a fortune for this stuff. They interviewed 3 people, and, you know, then they charge you $1 million. We interviewed 233 people. I got thousands of people that listen to it free. What do you like better as a nickname, Slow Joe or Sleepy Joe? So let's go. Wait, Slow Joe first. Okay? So just scream if you like it. So you have a choice. Slow Joe, they're both very appropriate. Slow Joe or Sleepy Joe. Ready? Slow Joe. I think we're going to have a winner. Sleepy Joe. Now, a lot of people say I'm too nice at Sleepy Joe, that I'm actually being too nice. I don't know. He's a sleepy guy. But Biden is going to shut down your Iron Range. Remember, it wasn't just the tariffs that put on your competitors that were dumping iron ore and steel and everything else in our country like it was garbage, okay? And it was garbage steel, too. It was all sand-based steel, real crap. It wasn't that, but when you think of it, they wrote it out. It was, you didn't have environmentally the right. You know, somebody said, oh, well, he got a bid because he was good with negotiating with these other countries. It wasn't that. I opened it up. I signed an order. I signed an executive order because Obama took your Iron Range, and Biden took your Iron Range away. And I'll never forget, the day I did it, and Tom was there, a man, I don't know who he is, he's probably in this massive audience, but he came up to me, and he was a rough guy, and he never cried in his life, including at childbirth. He didn't cry at childbirth, but he was crying. And he said, sir, you gave our life back to us because Obama took our heart out when he closed up the Iron Range.